everyone, and welcome back to the ninth part of the course in which we will be making the blade of the engines from scratch using Blender. In the last video, we made these parts of our handle more round, and it looks much more comfortable than before. We also refined a few parts, like for example up here, with our crease brush. And now, in the last video, I remember I said that I will show you how the brush scaling works. So, why don't we start the video with just that? So up here, you have the brush tab. Clicking on it will give you a bunch of options, but now we want to focus on the radius unit option. On default, radius unit is on view. So that one makes the brush size relative to the viewport. Let me just make my circle smaller and show you what that means. Okay, now as you can see, the circle is almost bigger than my handle. And if I were to zoom in, the circle gets progressively smaller. And the opposite, if I zoom out, the circle, in other words, the area of effect, gets much bigger. But you also have the scene option. In the scene brush, well, it stays the same size no matter how far or close you are to the objects. For example, let's do the same thing. Let's scale it so it is a bit bigger than the size of our handle, and if I were to zoom in, make it to scene, you can see the size stays the same. For me, it's personally easier to work with view because that's what I'm used to, but do not be afraid just to try out the scene and see if it works for you. Blender has many features to offer and much of them are for customization. You can also customize your workspace and that, but I like to use the default one. So I want to continue to shape the handle. As you can see here, we still have some blocky parts and I want to get rid of that. And for example, I want to make these parts a little bit more spiky. So let's get into that. Up here, I will roll over my area, then smooth using Shift. So hold Shift to smooth. Let's draw a line here. Why don't we try this with an inflate brush to see if the result will be better. Yes, I think I like it. It's a bit smoother. Then let's remesh so we can refine our edges better. Okay, well, I have no idea how I ended upside down, but yes, you can do that. Okay, as you can see, it looks much better. Don't worry about the spikes, we will do that after using the same grab brush. Damn, what happened here? Well, I just inflated a bit, at least for now. Remesh it and smooth it. So it's kinda taken care of, okay? Remesh again, then let's inflate these parts first, then let's smooth, remesh. Maybe lower our area bits, smooth here. As you can see in the reference, we don't want it like that, so. And it's bothering me, so let's fix it now. I will grab a grab brush, make the radius a bit bigger, and pull this so it has some kind of shape, like that. This part, well, let's make it like this. It's fine for now. So, while we have the grab brush still, let's do the same thing for this one up. So, let's just push it a bit like this. Okay, much better. Then let's go second, let me scroll up. Then I'll do the same for this part here. And then I think we'll make the spikes, and then we'll get to tweaking. We'll have all of our general shapes more or less. Okay. And also feel free to sing if you work. It sometimes helps concentrate, it really does. Okay, why are you so bulky? Okay, let's remesh you. No, you're not so bulky, and I like that much more. Okay. Now, let's make these parts less flat, so let me press free. And you can see, when pressing free, it takes me on this side. But if I were to press, so click on the screen, press Control free. And now it takes me to the other side. It works the same for all views. So if you were to hold Control, press 1, it takes you to the other side of the front view, otherwise known as the positive Y, and 1 takes you to the negative Y. So it's the same for the side view, and top view can become a bottom view. Okay, let's press no. Okay. Whew, it's good, I didn't do anything. So let me press Control free. Let's zoom in like this. I'll smooth this edge, remesh, then I'll use a grab brush, pull the mesh, remesh. And for now this is good. Once we have more details, we will do a better job of making it more sharp. Okay, this one is pretty messed up. Okay, this is good. So put this like this, remesh once again, smooth it a bit. Okay, looks much better. Ooh, this is not good. Okay, now it is. Sometimes you will see, like, as you saw, there are some polygons making some weird shadows, and usually with the smoothing then we'll fix like this. This doesn't look normal, but either the remesh or smoothing will fix it. So we can see we have this one in the air. Now it's here, yeah. If I make this as far away from this polygon, if I remesh again, it will disappear. And sometimes just make it smaller and hope it disappears. Or, in this case, if it's not disappearing, you can go to the edit mode, select these vertices in the X-ray mode, press X, delete the vertices. And now you can continue sculpting. That's the advantage of knowing both edit and sculpt mode workflows. So if you cannot fix something with edit mode, fix it with sculpt mode, and the opposite. Oh, as you can see, it's not symmetrized now. So why don't we just go up here, choose the direction, for example, negative Y to positive Y, and symmetrize. Yes, now it looks much better. Okay, let's extend this and remesh. Yes, I like this. It's looking good. Let's do the same thing for these parts. Remesh once again. Wow, this part just won't go away, won't it? Let me see if this does it. Okay, it does. So sometimes if you intersect the mesh and then remesh, it will remove the parts of it. So okay, let me go again in the edit mode, select these ones, delete them, delete this vertex also, go back to the object mode, and voila. I don't know if it is mentioned anywhere, but there's a trick I learned. So if I want to destroy a part of the mesh, I just intersect it and remesh. And for the smaller parts it works. And sometimes it can also fix some problems like this. I don't know if it's ever going to be useful, but out there if you want to know something. Okay. This is looking good. I think we are just left with the other side. Yes. Remesh. And let's go. We have these parts right here. Let's do the same thing for them because I don't want them to be that bulky. They're like not as spiky as these parts, but they still have this sort of spike on them. So for that I can use this normal grabber and just drag it a bit. We can just go to the front view to see on the X-ray mode. You know what, we just bring those back. We don't want to extend them too far, we want to at least keep something to our reference. We can extend this part, push this down, make this range smaller so it's much more precise. And here we can put this like this. And we can look on our reference using PureRef. Few videos ago, I made a course, otherwise a video, how to download PureRef and how to use it. It's completely free, so, and it's pretty useful. You can see it. This one turns upwards. So let me try to do that. Okay, let's remesh. Then grab a snake hook, like this. So what I do with the snake hook brush is I make a straight line, then I just drag it a bit up, and it should work. So this part is a little too thick for that, so let's make it smaller, and then snake hook it like this. So you can see these are evenly spaced. Let me grab the grab brush, just make it like this. Always keep checking the reference. So as you can see, it goes in line. So this bottom one should not be in front, otherwise go as far as this. So let's go to the object mode. I will use the annotate brush, as you can see. The line I draw, you can see this one should be a bit more like that. So because it is diagonal here, we want it to be at least somewhat diagonal here. So let's go back into sculpt mode. Let me first just delete what I just drew. So you can just undo with Ctrl Z or above. Then I'll grab the elastic deform brush, so I just don't make the shape different. Then I'll make the range smaller, drag these ones out, some these like this. Then I want to use a grab brush. Since I don't like the shape of this one. They have like these sharp edges. They are pretty sharp, they should be like more upturned. And now is the time to do it. So blocking out phase is beginning to come to an end. Okay, this one like this. This one should be facing a bit more diagonally too, so let's do it. Let's remesh so it gets easier to handle our mesh. And, well, this should be fine. And of course, if you're not as happy with the result, feel free to stop the video, keep tweaking, and then get back to sculpting with me. Okay, what I want to do now is just make this part a little better. So now all we have are like lines and geometry stacked on together. Now that we know how to use the crease brush, draw brush, I will also introduce you to the scrape brush. You might be thinking, why not flatten? Why scrape brush? So, the scrape brush for me, it's much easier to use from flatten because it's much more precise. And it does what it says, it scrapes. So for example, if I scrape here, you can see I'm making the surface more flat. Let me undo, you can see the difference it did. So if I go to 1, I want to make this a bit more flat. So let me just drag a couple of times like this, smooth a bit, and now our bed is much better. But as you can see, some of these parts are not even, like this, there's an indent here, this is more like outwards. Well, we still need to tweak it, but first, if you press 3 on my numpad, in this case, do you remember how to go to the other side of this side view? Control 3, yes. And let me go to the annotate brush. I want, as you can see, these parts to go in sort of a triangle. So let me show you. I want them to go like this. So this part here being the thickest, otherwise this part, then like underneath it should be this part and then this one. Because we can see here these things kind of like cover each other. And we will make that illusion with our crease brush. And that may be the most difficult part in this sculpting course. So do not quit, just keep trying, that's your motivation. I will use the draw brush to try to add geometry to certain parts it needs, like this one. And you can see it's not even. Let's smooth it a bit. No, it's better. Let's first draw this part here. And you can see it's wrapped like this also. It extends a bit further than we originally draw, so like this. Remesh. This is almost the way we want it, so let's just smooth a bit more. Draw, for example, a line here. Front view. We are kind of getting the shape. This is the right width, so we want to match other parts to this part, as you can see, to the, for example, this and this part. So I just draw, try to make like straight lines, more lines. Then let's remesh once again. And now, instead of smooth brush, I'll first use the scrape brush. We almost have the result we want. Just a little bit more tweaking. Okay. So now what I will do, I will use the crease brush with a positive direction to make a ridge like here. Then make one here and then here, like. As you can see now, it's much more pronounced. So let me remesh. Then with the draw brush, I will make these parts I creased more better looking, let's say. Then I will go to the side view. First I'll do that, then I'll smooth a bit. As you can see, with every stroke it gets better. So now scrape it. So we are lacking some material here. So let's make this with a scrape brush much more flatter. And at the same time, we want to draw on this part here to make it a bit even. So let's remesh. A bit more. Remesh once again. And I'm finally happy with the results. So example, let's just do Ctrl+3. You can see this part is bigger than this part. And it's starting to look like a triangle. We obviously don't want a real triangle, but let's a little slope that just, for example, this is the widest part and we want this to be the smallest part. So we can do the same thing for this up here. So let's go to the crease brush, turn on the positive direction. In this case, the negative shall work better. Because it will make it look like it goes above it. And in the next episode, I will show you the brush that will help us achieve this more realistic result. I just crease here. Use the positive direction, like here and here. Smooth it. So I'll use the scrape brush now. Remesh, use the scrape brush. And it's pretty flat, unlike this part. So let's flatten it a bit more. Like this, almost. Now I do. Okay. Up here we have some weird stuff, so I just. Up here we have some weird stuff going on, so I just smooth it a bit. I'll also use the crease brush to like crease it, remesh. Okay. Let's go to the front view and check our reference. So like this should be a bit down, they say. So let's just fix that. I will use the elastic deform brush in front view using the X-ray mode and make this a bit smaller. But not completely to the reference, but because for me it works. If it looks good to my eye, I will keep it that way. So yes. I'll drag this a bit more here. I like it this way. It's just personal preference now. And well, don't forget to save from time to time. It depends on which version you are, or Blender can crash sometimes. It should not now because our sculpt still has only few vertices, but for example, if your sculpt model has like million or more vertices, if there are more objects in your scene, just feel free to save more different copies of the same project, because if it crashes, you don't want to start again. Or you can use this feature. If you go to File, you have this recover option, and you want to recover the last session or autosave, because if you didn't save manually, that is your only option if you don't want to lose all your work. Oh, let me just go to the side view again. And this part should be good. Let me just flatten. We don't even need to make it thicker, just flatten it. Okay, let me use the crease. It will be funny, someone here is named Chris, so every time I'm like, let's use the Chris. Chris, you're getting popular, my boy. Okay, let's remesh. Scrape. Oh, we need to fill this in. Yeah, like this. We'll worry later about this part, so now we just want it to look somewhat good. And use the scrape brush. Flatten. Let's go again here. Okay, let's remesh. The other side we will do later, and it will be much easier because here we have like 2 lines, we already did 3. Okay, I want to grab the elastic deform to make this more pronounced, so let's just make this like this to get that triangle I was talking about. I will do some tweaking. This part needs a bit like this. It needs to be a bit more inflated, then I'll smooth it to get the result I want. Okay, then I will grab the elastic deform once again, draw free, just few clicks, and it already makes a big difference. Voila! We have what we wanted to. Let's remesh. And it looks much better. And now it just doesn't, not that it just doesn't look good, it's correct. It is correct in 3D. So not just in front view, but it's correct if you look at it from the side view. And of course from the top view. Did you make it? If you did, well, you are amazing. Keep working on your blade and you will learn a lot, believe me. Thank you for watching the video. Please consider sharing, subscribing, because in future more courses are coming, and see you also in the next part. Bye bye.